2010s started with the release of the iPhone 4 and ended with the election of Donald Trump. On the mainstream music front, one could argue that the 2010s was the birthplace of the second British invasion, with acts such as Adele, Ed Sheeran, and One Direction dominating the charts. While alternative was not as visible this decade as the prior two, many other incredible acts released albums and tracks that fell under the global radar. Here's 19 of them. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to APTV and turn on all notifications so you never miss a video. And check out the link in the description to the Spotify playlist featuring all of the songs on this list. 19 underrated bands from the 2010s who deserve another listen. Number 19, Captain We're Sinking. Scranton, Pennsylvania may get a lot of fame for being the home of The Office, but Captain We're Sinking deserve much more love than they received during their 12-year tenure as a band. Fans of The Hotelier, Saves the Day, and The Menzingers will flip their shit for Captain We're Sinking's emotional and powerful discography. Number 18, Chiodos with Brandon Bolmer. While singer and screamer Craig Owens left some huge shoes to fill upon exiting post-hardcore powerhouse band Chiodos, new vocalist Brandon Bolmer should have been given more than one album to show his worth. Real talk, Illuminaudio is Chiodos' most dynamic, catchy, and sonically gorgeous record, and would have been far more successful had it been their debut release. Number 17, The Color Morale. If hype automatically equated to record sales, then The Color Morale may still be around today. Falling under the radar for 3 powerful Rise Records releases, they seemed universally poised for scene king crowns upon their move to Fearless Records. But it never happened. They just plateaued and broke up after 2 more albums. Number 16, Conditions. Yet another band who never rose to the heights of their hype. It seems that everyone was on the Conditions train in the early 2010s, so it's confusing as to why they never rose to main stage status on Warped Tour. Fans of Hands Like Houses and Sleeping with Sirens would freak out over Conditions' discography. Maybe they were ahead of their time. Maybe they needed another label. Regardless, our understanding of the world feels broken. Number 15, Creeper. Until recently, the world never thought that both Creeper and My Chemical Romance would coexist together as active bands in this universe. But unless you've been living under a very heavy rock, MCR are back as a full-time act and are bigger than ever. Hopefully, their forward momentum can expand Creeper's reach beyond the United Kingdom, as their punk-fueled goth tunes deserve at least a few million more fans. Number 14, Danger Kids. The first YouTube comment on the video for Paper Thin reads, "This band is underrated." We agree. You may not know any Danger Kids tunes per se, but you've certainly heard vocalist Tyler Smith's songwriting and production with scene favorites I Prevail, Lights, and Bless the Fall. Still, Danger Kids, the Midwest's polite answer to Linkin Park, deserve your time and attention as well. Strong melodies and stronger production make these kids more dangerous than most of the youth gone wild. Number 13. Destroy, Rebuild Until God Shows. Destroy, Rebuild Until God Shows, aka D.R.U.G.S, were formed as a screamo supergroup featuring members of Chiodos, Story of the Year, From First to Last, Matchbook Romance, and Underminded, to release a scene classic before breaking up very shortly after. Their debut self-titled record is Owens' finest hour lyrically, vocally, and musically. Happily, D.R.U.G.S released their first single in almost a decade this past March, with hopes to do even more after the pandemic. Number 12. Fake Figures. Various members of Atreyu, Scars of Tomorrow, and Hotwire formed together last decade in Southern California to make post-hardcore's answer to desert rock a la Queens of the Stone Age. Singer Jonah Matranga of the often overlooked 90s act Far even snagged a guest spot on the blistering title track to their 2019 EP, We Are the Dead. Number 11. Hyro the Hero. If you went to Rockstar Disrupt Festival last year to catch The Used, Sum 41, Thrice, or any other of the many amazing acts, and showed up slightly after doors opened up, shame on you. You likely missed a fantastic rap rock act called Hyro the Hero. You know that band who other groups flock to so they can watch from the side stage? That's Hyro. He's been in the game since 2007 and recently found a home with 11-7 Music for his upcoming music. Number 10. I Fight Dragons. If you ever wondered what it would be like if OK Go merged with a Game Boy to create undeniably catchy dork rock, check out Chicago's I Fight Dragons as quickly as you possibly can. They released 2 chiptune EPs and a full-length via Atlantic subsidiary Photo Finish Records, and proved that they had an ardent fan base with 2 successfully crowdfunded self-released LPs after they left the major label world. Number 9. I Am Dynamite. Perhaps the most underrated addition to this list, Michigan 2-piece I Am Dynamite pack more of a punch than every screamo group with 2 vocalists and 5 other members, and what a diverse sound. Sometimes they emulate the epic grandeur of the Police, sometimes their songs are more in the vein of power pop giants Weezer, and sometimes they sound like no other band on the planet. Number 8. Just Friends. If the pandemic is keeping you down, put on your headphones and blast some Just Friends, and you'll be partying by your lonesome by the end of the song. They blend every genre under the sun in a funky and fresh fashion, and certainly stood out in the best way ever at last year's Sad Summer Fest. Number 7. New Medicine. Almost mainstream rock from Minneapolis, Minnesota? Yep. Like we mentioned with I Fight Dragons, Photo Finish had a hot streak for finding young talent this century, and New Medicine's blend of smugness and hard as fuck rock may make the band the unsung hero for the label. Number 6. Owl. Fans of Death Cab for Cutie, Jimmy Eat World, and Lush Symphonies should have flocked to all of the record stores in droves to pick up 2016's Dear Me, Owl's debut full-length. But they didn't. Obviously, they never had a chance to see them live. If you ever do get the opportunity after the pandemic ends, don't pass it up. What a powerful and dynamic show. No one sounds like Owl, and no one ever will. Number 5. Party Baby. Featuring the former guitarist of Portugal the Man, and the engineer for a couple 30 Seconds to Mars records, the indescribable Party Baby have hit the road with Potty Mouth and Waves, among others. They put out an EP and LP for Warner Records, and then went black for about 4 years. Thankfully, they released a new single, Heaven, a few months ago. Number 4. River Oaks. Although Silverstein have their fair share of mellow and chill songs, River Oaks feels like an auditory actualization of singer Shane Told's musical vision, making it a true-to-form solo acoustic project. River Oaks released a self-titled 3-song EP for Rise Records in 2016, and 4 years later, we still find ourselves extremely appreciative and yet wanting so much more material from the project. Number 3. Team. While Forever the Sickest Kids pumped out neon pop hits in the late 2000s, Caleb Turman's side project Team was a little more unknown. Joined by Forever the Sickest Kids touring guitarist Rico Garcia, the indie alt-pop group put out 2 releases. If you had the chance to catch them before Cartel's 10-year anniversary Chroma Tour in 2015, the jangly guitars and sweet harmonies would have most certainly won you over. Number 2. The Venetia Fair. One word can adequately describe the Venetia Fair. Chaos. If you ever wondered what Panic at the Disco would sound like if they had a keg of the theatrical Foxy Shazam and a shot of the frenetic A Lot Like Birds just before a one-off club date, look no further. The theater has never been so vibrant and violent. It is truly a shame that one of the larger labels never took a chance and signed them. And number 1, Versaemerge. And we close out with another fueled by ramen act who were quite underrated, Versaemerge. Later shifting to a 2-piece under Versa before breaking up, the band released several spacey alternative EPs before the 2010 started, and their one and only full-length in June 2010. Said LP, Fixed at Zero, is all killer, no filler, consisting of 11 flawless songs. Thanks for watching APTV. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel now to see all of our latest videos and updates.